my name is Liz and welcome to the Tiny Treatery. And today I'm gonna try to make a little cake that looks like a little castle, or really just like a tower. I'm not gonna make like a whole castle, just like one of the pillars with a little roof on top. I don't have any reason for doing this. I just thought of it and thought it would be cute. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. So I already have the cake made thanks to my mass bake extravaganza, but I gotta do all the decorating. And this one's gonna be a little complicated. So one of the things I'm gonna need is chocolate cookie dough. So I'll show the recipe for that on screen now, both with the original yield and the tiny yield, and meet you in the kitchen. Welcome to the kitchen. This recipe consists of all-purpose flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, salt, butter, sugar, egg, and vanilla. First things first, let's get measuring. I have everything measured out for my chocolate cookie dough, which I still haven't told you what that's for yet, but we'll get there. So now to make it, cream the butter and sugar until fluffy or whatever. Add in the egg and vanilla, mix until combined. Whisk together the dry ingredients and then add them in, and then mix until it's combined and I have a dough. And then I'm supposed to roll it out on a piece of parchment paper and then let it chill in the fridge for 1 to 2 hours at least. So let's make the dough. Okay, so cookie dough is chilling. Now, I have some batter in this bowl that I didn't film me making because it's not interesting and who cares, and we've seen enough measuring and mixing. This is for an ice cream cone. So my concept is that I'm gonna make this ice cream cone and then it's gonna be the roof. But it's gonna be really difficult to get this to work the way I want it to. I was doing some prototyping and testing. I made this little parchment paper disc. This is too small. The one I pour will be bigger than that. But the idea is, you know, you put the batter in the skillet and then you cook it until it's ready. You flip it and then you pick it up and you quickly pinch it at the bottom and make a cone out of it. So I've done this before on the channel, like a long time ago. I'll link the video in the corner or whatever, but like, good luck trying to make it through that. Probably watch it at like 1.5 or more times speed because, you know, I wasn't as developed of a video maker at that point, so it's a little slow going, but I still think it was pretty interesting. But anyway, obviously when you do this, the cone is tall here in the back and short here in the front. But if I'm to put this on a cake, I'm gonna want to like get rid of that excess so that I have a cone that is relatively uniform all the way around so that it serves as a nice roof. But I have no idea how to do that. Because if I try and like cut it off while it's hardened, I feel like it's just gonna shatter because it's gonna be so brittle. So one of my thoughts, place it in something like this that, well, that's too wide. Like here or whatever, that would, I wouldn't be able to push it down all the way, but it would hold it steady, and then take a knife and like cut to where I want while it's still kind of soft and not dry yet. The difficult thing will be estimating where to cut it so that it fits around the layer without accidentally cutting off too much. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a way to do it while it's hardened, like Dalgona candy style, and like take a needle and just very carefully score around the edges until I get what I want. I don't know. I just don't know. But now I'm gonna make this. I'm not gonna bring the camera over here to film this part up close. I don't care. I doubt you care. But if you do care, leave a mean comment about how you really needed to see this up close, and I will take that criticism and the engagement. I really just need this to work perfectly on the first try, which didn't happen when I tried to make homemade ice cream cones the first time, but it's just like really imperative for me that this works because I just don't have the time for any other outcome. Now I wait until it's ready to flip. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to roll it up now. I don't think it's wide enough to fit the cake. Okay, have an idea. Very risky, but it just might work.
Not bad. It might work.
I don't have kitchen scissors, so I'm gonna wash these. I don't know if it's like unsafe or dirty to like, but whatever. I'm the only one eating this. I'm sure I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't try it at home though. So, it's not the best shape. You know, it's clearly very lopsided, but it's something. And I'm going to adhere this piece to here with melted chocolate. And then I'm gonna paint the entire thing with chocolate. And I do recognize that I have this hole here that I have not dealt with. And I think my plan for that is going to be something. I have an idea, but I'm gonna keep it secret for now. But I think this can serve as a roof. So that's the plan for that, I think. I'm gonna hold off on the chocolate part right now though. So I think the next thing I need to do, ice the tower. But first, so I already made some gray buttercream for like a stone effect on the tower. So I just need to fluff it up in the mixer, thin it out so it's easier to ice the layers, and then ice the tower. Actually, just kidding. I didn't just ice the tower. I filmed all of the decoration for all of the parts of the cake and put it all together, and I didn't film any segments of me talking in between because I was just really in the zone. So you're just gonna get an entire montage of the whole cake being put together start to finish. it's the next day. I just decorated the whole thing and didn't film any of the intermediate exposition because I was just too in the zone, and it took like 6 or 7 hours to get all this done. So imagine how long it would have taken if I had to stop and like explain things. There was no time for that. I didn't finish this until like 2:30 in the morning, and today is upload day and it's like 3 p.m. now, so I gotta get going. So we have a little tower, look at it. It's pretty cute. I definitely have some problems with it, as I always do. I wonder if you can guess what they are. I guess I'll address the problems first, and then I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about how this all came to be, because I didn't explain anything in the middle of the decorating. So first of all, I guess probably because I put this in the freezer, the chocolate is like, it's got like moisture on it now, condensation or something. I don't know if there's a way to like fix that. So like people who know facts about the world, please sound off in the comments and tell me if I can prevent this from happening. My other complaint is really that I didn't do a great job of adhering the accoutrements to the tower, so the little door and the windows and stuff. There's a ton of like icing glue sticking out of the edges, and I maybe could have scraped some of that off, but I was just over it. It's fine, you know, I mean, it's not fine because it looks bad, but also it's fine because it's not the end of the world. But yeah, so those are my main issues. But the decorating itself, the first thing I did was ice the towers, and then I took a toothpick and made all of the bricks, which took about 15 minutes. Not terrible, but very tedious. And then, now you can see what the chocolate cookie dough was for. It was for the doors and the windows. So those are pretty cute. I'm pretty glad with how those turned out. Not really glad with how they adhered to the tower, but the doors and windows themselves, I think, look okay. So what's this, you might be wondering? The colored glass stuff that I have serving as the window. So that is Isomalt, which is a sugar substitute. This sugar substitute is about 50% as sweet as sucrose or table sugar. It has little to no impact on blood sugar levels and does not stimulate the release of insulin. It also does not promote tooth decay. We're gonna find out how it tastes though, because I've not heard great things, but people use it a lot in cookie decorating to get like stained glass cookie effects, and so that's what I decided to do for my actual windows. And this is the first time I've ever used Isomalt, so I had some trouble with it, but it went pretty well. It was pretty easy to work with, actually. So that's how the windows were done. Here's all the leftover Isomalt, by the way, from what I didn't end up using in the windows. You can see that the color that I used for this one was what I did first, and I made way too much of it. And then as time went on, with the red, blue, and yellow windows in the back, I learned to use less. So those colors are contributing a lot less to the overall makeup of this Isomalt disc. So the roof. You might have noticed, this roof is not the roof that I claimed I was going to get when I was first trying to make the ice cream cone. So I went through a lot of iterations and plans on this roof. The first thing I actually did before even the ice cream cone plan was I made a cone out of parchment paper, and then I painted chocolate on top of it, and then I let it freeze, and then I pulled the parchment out and I had this roof thing. I mean, again, we're having the problem where it's too tall and thin, I think. But also, how in the world was I supposed to like get this to not be extremely jagged? I think it would have shattered. And it's just like not a very nice texture, you know, it looks gross and nasty. So I was doing that because I was trying to avoid the ice cream cone plan. Then I realized I was gonna have no choice. So then, you know, you saw me make that ice cream cone and wrap it around and then cut a piece off and try to like, oh, I'm gonna put these pieces together. Well, I was about to do that and I realized that still wasn't gonna work. It was gonna be like this tall. It was gonna look ridiculous. So then I cut it into more pieces, which I have here. I was like, okay, what if I just cut it into a bunch of little pieces and then I can somehow, like I can glue them together kind of like, I don't know, like this or something, you know, like in layers and then like wrap them into a roof shape. That might have worked, but I just didn't have the length or height, and none of these shapes were right for that. But then the geometry gods shone their light down upon me and I had this like realization. And so I had my original parchment circle and I was like, well, what if, and I tore it like about to the center. And then I just whoop, wrapped it in like this. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is what I should have been doing the entire time. What is wrong with me? So I had a little leftover ice cream cone batter, pretty much exactly enough. And I made it into the shape of this circle. And then when it was ready to be like rolled up, I took the scissors, cut it halfway, and I rolled it like this. And then I got it to kind of stay in that shape, and then I let it go, and I painted some chocolate on here, and then I stuck it down so it was stuck, and then I had my roof, and then you saw me paint the chocolate on. So that is how I got this roof. Took a lot of thinking and planning and failing, but it turned out pretty good, so that's A win. So now that you know all the intimate details of how this little tower was created, let's taste it. I don't know what I'm gonna do about cutting into this. I kind of want to leave the door and the main door and window. Let's deal with the back. I don't think the back is as cute. I also don't think I can cut the roof. Can I? No, this is not gonna work. Okay guys, I gotta remove the roof. Ta-da! And there was a big glob of icing on here to get the roof to stay, which is not ideal for eating, but will live. Can I cut this somehow when it's not on the cake? Is that easier to do? Hey, that's not so bad. Look, pretty much cut out about the right amount of the roof as well to match my slice. All right, so the cake shouldn't be that interesting because it is just vanilla cake and vanilla buttercream. Guess I'll try the roof now. No, I don't like that. So the chocolate that is on the roof is Vermont nut-free milk chocolate gourmet candy melts. And I don't know what is going on in their gourmet recipe, but it is like bad. I don't like it. Their regular ones taste good to me, but this is like gross. I wish you guys could taste it because it is like a familiar chocolate taste. It's like very specific, but it's familiar and I dislike it. So yeah, I don't think it's the ice cream cone's fault though. And I can test that right now, can't I? It's a little chewier than you would expect an ice cream cone to be because I think I made it too thick and I didn't cook it enough, but I was doing that on purpose to make it more malleable. Fine though, tastes like an ice cream cone. So yeah, it's the chocolate that I don't like in the roof. I'm actually gonna cheat and I have this window I didn't fill in so I can taste the chocolate cookie and then we're gonna investigate this Isomalt situation. These are good. Very chocolatey, but in a good way, unlike the roof. Tastes like a chocolate cereal, but in cookie form. It's pretty good. I like chocolate cereals. All right, scrape the buttercream off. Try and get as much of an isolated Isomalt experience as I can. Oh my God. I don't think I'm gonna be able to bite it. I don't really think it tasted like anything, but it wasn't a very fun texture because it's so hard. I don't know if there's a way to make the window thinner so that it would just shatter upon touching your teeth instead of having to be forcibly crunched. But I didn't really get much of a taste, especially next to the chocolate cookie. So inconclusive. Regardless of the bad chocolate on the roof and the bad texture of the Isomalt, the cookies are good, the cake and the icing is good, and it's really cute. So that's the most important thing, as usual, for the viewers. I tried a lot of new things in this decorating in terms of the architecture, literally, of this tower. And in some ways it went worse than I expected, like adhering the windows and the doors to the cake, but in some ways it went better than expected. Because even going into this, I knew that the roof was going to be a disaster, and I really thought I was going to have to end up with something like this, but then I had a geometry awakening, and everything was okay, and I had the perfect roof for my little tower. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and subscribe for more baking adventures.